Heyo, Hudson here with Planet 4 Gaming. I am flying the Focke-Wulf 190 A-4. This video is not going to be like one of my normal videos. It's really going to be more of a first impressions type thing, because I have only flown this plane once or twice. At least twice, make that actually. So I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I'm hoping with this game I can kind of illustrate how this plane performs stock, and then later on, when I have it spaded, see how it does with all of the upgrades, because I was a little bit overwhelmed with this game, even though I do pretty well. So I'm like thinking, what do I do with this shit I've recorded? I'm like, oh, I can just do a video on it stock, and then once I spade it, see how it performs then, which I already said. And I think that might be kind of interesting. And I also want to compare it to the 109 G2 because they share a battle rating, and I was pretty underwhelmed with that plane as well. And I've actually gained a bit of experience with that, and opinion hadn't really changed, so I'd like to see how these two planes can do at their battle rating. Germany has not, well, let's go back to the beginning, where in the early days of War Thunder, Germany was considered like the best nation to play as, pretty much solely because the player base was far more talented than the other nations. And I think that's pretty much changed now, because a lot of the times Germans play like complete shit. So, a lot of things to consider when you fly this. Anyway, I tried to climb to about 5,000 meters at the start of the game, but this plane doesn't climb that well, and its adversaries do. Spitfire is a good example of that. Really bad head-on shooting by me, but I'm a little rusty at this point because beforehand I had been I'd been driving tanks whenever I signed into War Thunder, and I only got back into planes recently. And that's kind of the reason I haven't uploaded in a while, because while I enjoy playing tanks, I find it hard to talk about them because I'm not that knowledgeable about them. And really the biggest reason is when I record while playing tanks, it usually comes out shitty, because ground forces matches just seem to be a lot more stressful on my graphics card for whatever reason. I should be getting a new graphics card sometime soon though, so maybe that will change. Maybe not, who knows. Anyway, after taking out that spit, which I believe Base AA actually took out, I don't know why I got credit for that kill. It looked like he exploded, but his fire went out. If he had bailed out, I would say, yeah, sure, I got the kill, but it looked like AAA got him. And usually AAA steals your kills, so I don't know how that managed to happen. Anyway, I realized pretty quickly that my team fucked up really bad, and they're almost all dead. So, this is usually the time where you would find one or two German planes up at 7,000 meters, while the rest of the team was getting eviscerated by Allied fighters at low altitude. And this is one of the issues with German teams is, yes, a lot of them are retarded and do not climb, but when that happens, you kind of have to read the situation and figure out what you need to do to alleviate any problems associated with that. And what I mean is, climbing up to 7,000 meters when there's going to be no Allied planes up there because 2/3 of the German team is below 2,000 meters is not going to do anyone any good, including yourself. All you're going to find if you do that is that your team got wiped out and the Allied team has lost maybe 2 fighters, so you're vastly outnumbered. You wasted a ton of time, and now you're going to be lucky if you get a kill. So, what I do in those situations, usually when I'm flying the TA-152, which I've taken a liking to, is I'll climb to maybe 3,000 meters and see who's in trouble on my team, and just try and help them without turn fighting, because Germans can't do that. You just have to make diving passes, kind of like what I'm doing on this Spitfire now. Extend away. You don't even necessarily have to climb, just use any speed advantage you have to keep the Allied planes off you and help out the Axis planes. Obviously in this situation it's much more difficult because I'm flying a stock plane, and this Spitfire is actually out climbing me. I don't know why that is, but that is the case. So this game is going to consist of me getting kills only because of head-ons, which is, I mean, I guess it's kind of skill related, but not really. It's just kind of like Call of Duty, where it's who can aim for the small target that's moving fast the best. So that guy, that Spitfire, I guess he blew a lot of energy climbing up to me, so he ends up turning around. Go to do the head-on with this guy, and he tries to evade, but I can kind of see what he's doing. Just aim low and get a nice critical strike on him. P-51 coming at me. Start shooting from pretty far out. Take him out. I didn't even try and back off because I know I'm gonna die at some point. I'm just trying to kill as many planes as I can. Now I'm even gonna brave base AA, which proves to be my undoing. But there's not many options left on the table, so go for the Spitfire, which is taking off. He's not even trying to evade. Get shots off, but just one more second and I probably would have taken him out, but AAA got me too quick. AAA has been OP for a while. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, when you're on the base, you kind of want AAA to defend you, but you don't want it to be like a trump card where as soon as shit hits the fan, you just go back to base and are practically invincible to enemy fighters that might be trying to finish you off. This is especially true when there's only one plane on the team left and that guy's just camping by his base. It's not really conducive to an entertaining game or a fun experience for anybody. So I did pretty well for my team. Am I the only one that got a kill? No, it looks like 2 guys got 1 kill. But I'm the only one that got multiple, so yeah, I'm the only one that accomplished much. And I don't even really feel accomplished because it happened way too late for the course of the game to change. And that can kind of be an issue when you're playing Germans. It's after all this time, it's still been the nation where the fighters have the steepest learning curve. With Japan, you have unrivaled maneuverability. With the U.S., you can use it kind of depends on what plane you're flying, but there's a lot of variety there. You have the P-51, which is very fast. You have the Bearcats, which are very well-rounded. The P-47s, which are also very fast for their tier and carry a lot of machine guns. And you get a good variety of planes that fire machine guns and cannons. So there's a lot of things to choose from with them. With England, it's a good climb rate and turn time for the Spitfires a lot of the time. And for Russia, it's another just all-around situation where planes are kind of like average on every statistic. With Germany, they're planes that are supposed to excel at energy fighting because of their high dive speed, but a lot of the times they're not the best climbers, so you don't get to be above the enemy. They have the worst turn times in the game, and oftentimes the worst armaments, as with the ME-109s, where you get one 20 or 30 millimeter cannon in the nose and two useless machine guns that don't do anything. So I think as the player base has grown and a lot of people have left the game because of too much Gaijin bullshit, a lot of the most experienced German players are gone, or just kind of overwhelmed by an influx of inexperienced ones. And you know, as you keep playing this game, you kind of get sick of being patient and playing to your strengths and just kind of try and fly out there and see what you can kill. And Germany is not forgiving for that playstyle, so you can get some good games, you can get some bad games. It just depends on how your teammates play, how the matchmaking is. Like with the Focke-Wulf 190 A4 I'm flying here, you can end up with fairly balanced matchmaking. This game wasn't bad. Spitfire 5Cs and P-51, the cannon-armed one, you know, the early variant. F4Us, but you can face tougher stuff. You can get up tiered to 5.7, I believe, so you can face Spitfire Griffin variants, the first two. You can see the P-51D, which is... That plane is just such a joke. I remember when I uploaded a video on it, it was 5.0, and I thought it was great there. And it's just kept getting its BR reduced. And it's so easy to fly out and just wreck in that plane. So, I'll let you know how flying this thing goes as I spade this thing. I'll upload a video on it, hopefully not in 2 months, hopefully in less than that. But you never know with me, because I could get lazy and just not feel like doing anything, so see how it goes. Anyway, I'll be uploading a video fairly shortly on another German plane. I'm not going to spoil it, but I can give you a hint. It's a German jet at 7.0. It looks kind of like a manta ray, and it's got two 30mm cannons, and it's the Horten 229, so look forward to that, I guess, if anyone's still watching this channel. And until then, get the fuck out of here. Fuckers.